Hey everybody, what's up? This is Kevin from KlotzProductions, back again bringing you another Gears of War 3 gameplay and commentary. Today we're playing some Team Deathmatch on Thrashball. As you can see, I am running the Flame Lancer and the Flame Gnasher shotgun. This is pretty much what my loadout has been for a while. I don't really like any of the other weapons to use except for the hammer burst, but I do feel like the Lancer is a lot easier to use. As you all probably know, the hammer burst, you can do some major damage with it, but it requires quite a bit more skill. But getting into the game, this game I'm actually doing something different. I'm setting my settings all the way down to 0. This is actually going to be done as a video response to Arctic VBI, because he talked in one of his most recent videos about look sensitivity in the game and how he went through all the sensitivities and he was putting some stuff together for it, and he issued a challenge to try playing the game with all 0 sensitivity and using only the shotgun. So that's what I'm doing here in this gameplay, and I tell you what, it is very difficult. Like he said, when I'm used to playing on 20/20/15 sensitivity, as you can see there, and running around with the 0 sensitivity, I literally feel like I weigh about 1,000 pounds and I cannot move at all. It got me thinking a lot about the old Tomb Raider 2 game, kind of how like you couldn't really move around very well in the game and your controls are very tight and stiff, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I feel like right here. So I guess I'm kind of feeling like Lara Croft trying to raid those tombs, except for in Gears of War in the old days, and it didn't really go too well. You'll see how I finished up in this game, but yeah, it wasn't that great, and I ended up only playing just one game like this just to see what it was like, and went back to playing my regular settings after that because it was pretty rough to do. One thing I'd like to point out there is if you use left bumper when you're looking through the smoke, if you look at the video there, you can actually see the outline of enemies or other people through the smoke. And that's a strategy I like to use if somebody throws a smoke and I want to see if they're coming through. You just hold down that left bumper and you get the excuse me. You get the outline of them coming through so you can actually see them. It's also useful in maps like trenches when all of the smoke comes. You can actually see the outline of enemies, not just your teammates coming through. So just a little pro tip there. Not that I'm a pro or anything, but just a little tip. But yeah, I got killed by the sawed-off there. Wasn't a whole lot I could do. Get in another little combat here with this guy and get killed by the sawed-off again. I do believe that the sawed-off has been nerfed a little bit. I read some articles about it recently. I don't know if it was a change that was already made or it's going to be made, but apparently they changed the gib range of the sawed-off down to being the same of the Gnasher. Apparently it used to be longer. So, like I said in the last video, that's what I thought it was, and apparently that's the truth. Now, something I'd like to be clarified for me, maybe by some of you guys, is what exactly the gib range is. I'm going to assume that the gib range is the range it takes to do the one-shot kill. That'd be my assumption from what I understand, but I'm not sure about that, so if maybe some of you all could let me know exactly what the gib range is, because I wasn't able to figure out exactly where that terminology came from or what that means. But I do believe that that is what it is. But speaking of Tomb Raider, I was talking about Tomb Raider earlier. I like to mention just give you all some of my previous gaming history and where I came from in video games. I did like to play Tomb Raider in the PlayStation days, and that was actually the game that brought me to the PlayStation. Originally, I remember my uncle had the game. I was like, yeah, that looks like a really cool game, and that was the first game I got for PlayStation. I remember playing a demo for it. But I actually played games long before PlayStation. I've been playing video games since I was probably about 4 years old, if not earlier. I think because, let's see, the NES came out around 1990, because I remember that's when the original Turtle games were out, so I assume the system was out before that, and I played Nintendo, you know, when I was playing a Mario originally, but I actually played games before that. Played some system that my parents had. It was some old computer system. I don't really know what it was. It wasn't Atari or anything like that. It was some old computer system. I remember playing some game where you played as a rabbit and you like went around and ate all the grass. I think that was the objective, was to eat all the grass, and without getting killed by I don't know what the enemies were. And I remember playing some like Starship game on it. It's kind of like Galaga, but you just go back and forth on the screen and you would shoot the ships as they come in, but there'd only be like one ship. Or at least I remember a boss that you have to shoot and like all the parts would fall off of him, and then until it's like just one little bit. It'd be a big ship at first and it turned into just one little ship. But anyway, yeah, so I started off probably when I was about 4 years old, maybe younger, playing on that. My first real system was the NES. I remember I got a Nintendo from a yard sale. I don't remember how much I paid for it. It's probably like 40 bucks or something like that. I got Mario with it. And I think that was the only game I had at the time, was just the original Mario. So I played Mario all the time. And those games are always hard, like especially when I was younger. I remember I never beat the Mario game. I had to use Game Genie to actually get through it. I figured out, I knew where all the warps were. So I was able to warp through the levels. And I think I was able to like warp to the 8th level, but I was never actually able to beat the game because I was never really all that good at it. If I actually played the game by myself, or just play it straight through, not just by myself, but just played it straight through without trying to use any of the warps, I think I got to like the 4th world was as far as I could get. I don't remember. But that was the first game that I had, was the Mario on the NES. And then after that, I think my next console was a Game Boy. I remember I got it on Derby Day. Also got that from a yard sale for about 10 bucks, I believe. And I had a Mega Man game with it, and I loved that a lot. Got me into the Mega Man games playing that. And then I got some more Mega Man games for Nintendo. I played the original Mega Man, then I played Mega Man 3, and then I played Mega Man 6. And of all those, I liked 6 the best. Later on, when I had PlayStation, I got Mega Man X or 0, something like that. I enjoyed that one a lot, but didn't have the nostalgic feelings of the 6 when I was younger. So I think I enjoyed that one the most. But I never had a Super Nintendo. I had a Sega Genesis, played Sonic on that. I'm not really sure what other games. I played NBA Jam on the Sega. Anybody that's played that game, a lot of people love that game, and they've actually remade it for other systems like the N64, and they've now remade it for I think they made it for PlayStation 3 now. But yeah, that was a cool game that I played. And then I had a PlayStation. Let's see, where did I get my I got my PlayStation at yard sale as well. I think I paid about $100 for that. I got a lot of my systems from yard sales. That's where I got my Sega. I was poor, of course I still am poor, but didn't have any money at all to spend on games and game systems. I got them at yard sales. So yeah, I got a PlayStation, and my friend introduced me to Final Fantasy VII, who's actually my friend that we're playing with here, Toxicity. I'm playing with Born Killer as well. They're both from friends from a long time, but Toxicity was the one that introduced me to Final Fantasy VII, bought it for me on my birthday. Before I played Final Fantasy, I played Legend of Legai, or about the same time I played Legend of Legai. I don't know if any of you all played that game, but I really enjoyed that game a lot. But when I played Final Fantasy VII, it took me a little bit to warm up to it, but that pretty much became my favorite game. Even to this day, I'd still say Final Fantasy VII was my favorite game. So I do enjoy the RPGs. I play some sports games, but I don't really care for them all that much. And then after that, I got a PlayStation 2. On the PlayStation 2, I'm not really sure a whole lot of games that I played. I remember playing Crash Team Racing on PlayStation 2 a lot. Playing that with my friend Toxicity, playing the split-screen combat, because I didn't have a Nintendo 64 at the time, so that was kind of my Mario Kart, because that was their equivalent to it. I did later on get a Nintendo 64. I think I bought it at a yard sale for real cheap, when it was like 10 bucks or something, and I ended up getting Mario for it, and Mario Kart, and some other games like that. I always wanted to get Mario Tennis, but I actually never picked that game up. But then I got an Xbox, and that's where I actually got introduced to playing games competitively, because I played Halo 1 or Halo Combat Evolved on the Xbox. And that's when I got introduced to my first LAN, and I actually made quite a few friends playing that. None of them are in the party right now, but a couple of guys that I play with I'm pretty much met through Halo 1. So that's pretty cool. For a while I always wanted to play competitively, but I was never good enough to play competitively, and I never had the dedicated teammates to actually do it. I was in college at the time and just could never really get it to work out. So yeah, I always wanted to play competitively through like the Halo 1 and Halo 2 and a little bit in the Halo 3 years. But after about Halo 3, I kind of got tired of the games, or tired of the Halo games. I did end up getting Halo Reach, but I haven't played it too much. Actually, after about the end of Halo 2, I got kind of frustrated with the games. I was upset with Halo 2 because they had noobified the game so much, and I know a lot of people like Halo 2 better than Halo 1, and Halo 2 is their favorite one, but Combat Evolved was my favorite. And they came back and they remade Anniversary, but it was basically Reach with the original settings, and that's just not the same for me, so I really had no desire to get Anniversary once I figured that out. I was going to, but once I learned that, I was like, nah, I don't want to play it. But yeah, that's where I actually started playing competitively. Used to LAN all the time at my friends' houses, and play a lot of Halo 1 through the years. And then I eventually got an Xbox 360, and I was real excited about Gears of War. Played the original Gears of War when they introduced it, and I just love the gritty feel of the game and the realistic feel and the good graphics of the game. And it was a change of pace from Halo. But yeah, that's pretty much my progression through my gaming history. The game's getting pretty close to being done here. As you can see, I didn't end up finishing all that well. I'm already dead in this video. I think I ended up going like 3 and 6. But yeah, it was really difficult to use the 000 settings. I'd encourage you all just to give it a try if you want to. Maybe post some comments or responses to it, like Arctic has requested to do, because it's just something fun to try, and maybe you could actually put out some good numbers with it, but I was not able to. But yeah, we're pretty much wrapping the game up here. We got Choppy here trying to defend himself, but he's going to go down, and that's going to be the end of the match. So, hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and add it to your favorites. And don't forget to subscribe and come back for some more commentaries. I'll see you all later.